5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome to episode 340 of In Touch with iOS, the show that talks about iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, Vision Pro, and related technologies. I am your host, Dave Ginsburg, and she's back for a third week. I'm so excited. Patrice Brend-Amour is back, and she's here in our normal time, which is really early or maybe really late. In your case, how are you doing, Patrice?
Early evening for me. It's like 2 a.m. So if like right now I'm on vacation, so that's usually 4 a.m., 5 a.m. That's the time when I go to bed when I'm on vacation. Unfortunately, can't do that when I have that really annoying thing that pays the bills.
Yeah,
the job.
It's kind of important.
Yeah,
so
kind of important. Yeah. No, I'm good. I had a really cool, busy day. I got my nails done and went to like a small airport about an hour from here because I'm thinking about getting a license. And good thing I did because I didn't like the place I saw. And like, it kind of looks like run down and everything. So maybe not the best place.
Find another place. But
yeah, there's a couple.
Great you're here. And also, here's Marty Jencius. How you doing, Marty?
Hey, good. Been a busy week. Celebrated my wife's birthday with relatives coming in as a surprise for her. So we had to keep that all secret and had to prep a bunch of meals for a bunch of people. And right now I'm coal shoveling my way through leftovers.
As one does.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a good week. Slow, but good.
Oh, happy birthday, Marty's wife. And Ben Roethig is here. How you doing, Ben?
I am fantastic.
That's great.
Really excited for a little bit of Vision Pro talk today.
Oh, interesting. All right. I'm looking forward to that. And then last but certainly not least, Jeff Gamet is here. How are you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing all right. And when I say I am super happy to see all of you, that's not just talk. I really genuinely am super happy to see every single one of you. I'm glad that I get to hang out with all of you tonight.
Yeah, me too. So, another week of great stuff to talk about. We've got some Vision Pro topics. Beta, we got some new beta releases this week and some other topics. I'll touch a little bit on CES. CES was this week. I'm just going to grab some of the headlines. I got a lot in here. I'm not going over all of it, but we'll find some good, interesting things to talk about that was announced this week. But let's go ahead and, as we always do now, is start with Vision Pro. Vision Pro beta is now released for Vision OS 2.3. It's got new updates. There was really nothing notable in the updates that I found. Code did suggest that Apple was going to be possibly adding support to vacuums in the HomeKit, but I don't think that's going to involve that Vision Pro because I got this combined article with all the updates here. But I didn't see anything as far as Vision OS 2.3, the latest beta. Did you find anything, Marty?
It was really hard to find. I finally went to the developer notes and then had to have the developer notes explain to me what the developer notes are saying. There were a couple of things. HealthKit had a persistent bug that was when a user was granting permission for HealthKit data type, the app might fail to remember this authorization. So they fixed that. That was one of the fixes in it. And the other one was around using the simulator. And they're suggesting that because there are problems with the simulator, they're suggesting that developers using the beta should test the apps directly on hardware for the most accurate results due to the issues they're having with the simulator now. That's it. That's as much of a reveal as we got off this new beta.
Yeah, I didn't see much else. Same thing with you, Patrice.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you know, the old joke on Reddit, Pastor is clearer and Safari is faster. No,
snappier.
Snappier. Yeah, there's literally nothing in there. I mean, we'll see. Like, there's still a couple of weeks until it gets released. There might be a feature that Apple thought of that they haven't talked about yet.
Yep. let's go ahead. We'll move on. Apple Vision Pro is going to support NVIDIA's GeForce Now cloud gaming service via Safari. The Apple Vision Pro headset will soon support that on its gaming platform. NVIDIA announced this at CES 2025, and it's going to be collaborating with Apple to bring this GeForce Now to the Vision Pro using Safari, with updates to the platform expected to roll out later this month. It will enable users access to AAA titles with the power of NVIDIA's RTX technologies that leverage technologies like ray tracing and the DLSS. Should have access to an extensive library of over 2,100 titles via the cloud. All kinds of games, including Doom and Avowed, the Dark Ages. And I don't know a lot of these games, so I'm not a gamer, but I think this is where Ben probably comes in, because you have some thoughts with Vision Pro and gaming, right?
Oh, yes. This is a very good thing. Vision Now, NVIDIA will connect to basically all the major game services. They have connections to Battle.net. They have connections to Ubisoft. They have connections to Steam. They have connections to Epic Games. I mean, throw in GOG and you pretty much have everything here. So why it is streaming and not, dedicated software, this significantly improves the gaming that Vision Pro will have.
Yep. How about you, Patrice? What do you think with this for Vision Pro?
I mean, it's tough to get excited because I'm really not too much into games. I do a Vision Pro game here or there for the most part, but I mean, I think for the platform it's a good thing because it will make the people who are interested, like Ben, more excited about Vision Pro. I hope, at least.
Yeah, makes sense. Same thing with Marty. You're not a gamer like most. Three of us here. So
when this came out on, I started reading what people were saying on it about Reddit, and the real change here is that it's going to be available through the Safari browser, or that's what I understand. The real change is people and people were saying, I've been playing games on the Vision Pro, but they've been hacking their way around it to be able to do it, and this will give them much more of a direct connection with doing it through the Safari browser, which is the only native browser that's in Vision Pro. So,
any thoughts on this, Jeff?
It's no secret that I'm not a hardcore gamer.
It's
Lego, Star Wars, Skywalker Saga. I mean, that's like the pinnacle of gaming for me on my Switch.
I thought it would be Leisure Suit Larry.
I played that game so much.
Yeah, I figured
back in the day. Yeah. Anyhow, wait, is Leisure Suit Larry available for Vision Pro? Because if not,
I'm looking for it right now.
Anyhow, so while Marty looks that up, I totally appreciate the importance of gaming platform support to get a wider adoption for any hardware platform that's consumer focused or prosumer focused. So while I didn't even know that NVIDIA had their own cloud gaming service, that doesn't matter. It's good that Apple is getting support.
Yeah, absolutely. Next thing I found this week, the best Plex video player for Apple Vision Pro got just way better. Started with a planetarium. Now Theater for Vision OS has become the best Plex video player on the Apple Vision Pro. It's because of a collection of new features in this version 22.1. The Plex Playback still new as part of the 2.0 upgrade, but as mentioned from the launch of Theater 2 will now already streams YouTube, but it now can stream content from your personal Plex media server. Sure beats the Vision Pro Plex app that doesn't even exist yet. So the Plex iPad app on the Apple Vision Pro isn't tough competition, but it's not good. So I have not tried this yet. I don't know if any of you have tried the theater app yet. I'm sure I figured you did, Patrice. What's how's this looking?
I have a problem with this article saying it's the best player or best Plex player on Vision Pro. It is certainly a good one. Like I'm just not sure about the best. There's a bunch of others that I would throw into mix, like Infuse, for example.
Yeah.
It definitely has some really cool features. Like the planetarium one actually was really cool. I really enjoyed that. The fact that you can throw in, it's a paid feature, but you can throw in YouTube videos. I mean, I have a different solution for that because I run that through my Jellyfin server. But yeah, you can do that. It's a good app, and I'm excited that someone is developing, or actually multiple companies are developing player apps for Vision Pro. It's like I think that's probably one of the categories where we have a ton of competitors right now, which is really strange, but also very cool.
Very cool. How about you, Marty? What do you think?
I have theater. I don't find anything too fantastic about it. I know Eric's a fan of it. My favorite app for streaming is Lens on Vision Pro, and it's a good app. Now, I also have a Plex server. I've been trying to figure out what to do with all those years that I spent handbraking movies to get into a digital format, and now it's sort of like
it's paying off.
Well, no, it's not. It's like, screw it. I can get a high resolution one by just buying it in the Apple store and having it that way. So I have a Plex server, trying to figure out what to do with it. I don't shoot a lot of home movies. So, and certainly I'm not going to spend my entertainment time watching them. So I'd like to hook the whole thing up only for an academic, purpose, just to figure it out if I can do it. But, yeah.
What do you think, Ben? You have a Plex server? You use Plex, right?
I used to.
Okay.
And then Movies Anywhere came into being. And since all my movies were then available on pretty much every device, I kind of stopped using it.
Yep.
But if you're not into that and you have just a bunch of ripped movies, a Plex server is just magic.
It is, and some people dabble into the dark side with BitTorrent. Let's get things too, but yeah, I've got some ripped videos as well as other things and TV shows and such. So you find them, and yeah, I mean, I got a lifetime license for Plex, so it's not like I'm spending money on it every year. And then plus they've got the streaming channels too that you can watch along with it. So which is
a ton of them.
Yeah, there's a ton of them. So Jeff, you run a Plex server?
I do, and I'm glad I have mine. It's Marty, the thing where you're like, hey, I spent all this time with Handbrake ripping all these movies that I have. I did the same thing, and it turns out some of the things that I have that I ripped from DVD, I can't buy digitally anyhow.
Right.
So it's nice to have all of that content. And then I also took my CD library that I had ripped into iTunes, now Apple Music, and I copied that over to the Plex server. So I've got all of that too. And for me, it's really cool because now I can listen to any of the music that I own, which includes a lot of like indie band stuff.
Sure.
That I might not be able to find, except that I already have the disc. I can listen to all that content anywhere.
Right.
And
yeah. I've got CDs or DVDs of the saved files up on my bookshelf, which now all I got to do is get a player to hook into my Mac so I can copy it over, so I can put it on my Plex server, so I can watch it okay.
No, and see, I already had the super drive that I needed to get years ago.
I've got my Pioneer Blu-ray player that I can rip discs from that, just plug it right in with USB. So
nice.
Good. When I got the Plex servers on, I have it on a Synology, which is actually working really well. So,
yeah, mine's a Raspberry Pi, which Marty, I set up partly as an academic experiment. Mm-hmm. And once I had it set up and started playing with it, I'm like, oh, this is actually really cool.
Yeah, I bought a copy of Zelig, a Woody Allen film that you can't get in any digital format, and attempted to I just got this a couple of weeks ago and attempted to rip it with Handbrake, and I couldn't do it.
Let's talk offline, and because I'm pretty sure I know where the problem is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably got some over the top digital rights management on it.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, there's a codec you have to go dig out of a package somewhere else. And
okay, all right. And,
okay, yeah, we'll talk. Yeah. Last one is this is Tim Cook's habit that can almost fix Vision Pro's biggest problem. Tim Cook says that he uses the Vision Pro every day. Well, okay. And in multiple interviews in the past, he's mentioned a specific habit with the product that's a big part of his use: lying down. I've not lied down to use it. I don't know if you guys have. But after following his lead, this reporter now can report that you can almost fix the Vision Pro's biggest problem by lying down. Recently, the guy finally came up and bought the Vision Pro, and so there's exploring ways to use the device. And let's try to lie down. I have not tried that. Have any of you done? I have not done that yet. Maybe I should. Have you tried it, Marty?
No. I don't. For me, it would be sort of the body kind of sensation of lying down and watching a movie. Yeah. I've never watched a movie in a prone position like that, projected on my ceiling. Well, at one hotel one night, but we won't get into it.
Yeah, I was about to ask about that.
So it just feels very weird to think that my body would be in that kind of prone position watching a film. But I know people who do it, so they.
How about you, Patrice? Have you tried that?
Nope. I muted myself. No, not really. It's not my thing.
Okay. Go ahead, Ben.
I'd fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably pretty easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
I might try it for a few minutes to see how it is, but we'll see how it goes. Anything to add, Jeff?
No, because I'm just going to be talking about the motel that Marty was in. So, no.
All right, good. That's a good point to move on here.
Yeah. Yes. Unlike us, it charges by the hour.
All right, here we go.
Quarters go into the slot beside the bed.
Magic fingers on a king size bed. Yeah. Right.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Here we go. So Apple did release iOS 18.2.1 with bug fixes. It was released earlier this week as we record. It was minor updates to iOS 18 and iPadOS 18, and almost a month after it released it, 18.2 on both. You can do the update. It's small. It does address some important bugs and is recommended for all users, but Apple really doesn't give any details to what really was fixed, which was kind of unusual. So maybe it's a secret. What do you think, Ben?
I think right now it has about as many changes as 18.3 beta.
Yeah, probably.
No, probably not. I mean, there might be some secret like vulnerability fixes in there that they don't want to disclose yet until everybody's installed it. Like sometimes if there's something really, really bad, they will not disclose it until after the fact. Because some people take time to update. And then 13 probably has some extra things in it that the 2.1 doesn't have.
Yeah.
So 18.3 doesn't have it that the 18.2.1 does have.
Any thoughts on this, Jeff?
No. I'm still hooked on Marty's motel.
Oh my gosh.
It was in Glen Ellen, Illinois, Jeff. So.
I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
It's not far from where I am.
Okay, next
Next
question.
next article here, next topic. So we got 18.2.1 is out. We have running 18.3, and then there's also 18.4. It's going to be probably coming out soon. And then Apple does plan to do at least 3 more versions by the end of April, as we usually anticipate each year. And they have new releases. And 18.3, we were talking about the beta is out. It's beta 2 in the developers, and the public beta also came out. That's been since mid-December. And really hasn't much that stood out as far as any updates. The robot vacuum support. I mean, okay, that doesn't excite most people. So beta 2 is out for that, and then we don't know what's going to happen with 18.4. It's a lot of speculation, so I'm not going to really go much too into that. But we are running about developer 2, about beta 2 of 18.3. How's it been going for you, Patrice?
Just fine. I mean, as we discussed just literally a minute or two ago, there are very few changes in there, which makes it relatively stable. There's always little things. I think I had some battery thing where it was burning through, or some process was hanging. It's burning through the battery today for some reason. On the beta 2. That happens sometimes. Like some process gets screwed up and then it gets fixed. So it's not a big deal.
How about you, Ben?
It's been surprisingly similar to 18.2, to the point where I wonder if it's one of those releases where they're kind of testing something in secret that they haven't quite announced yet for 18.3.
Yes.
You, Marty?
Or they're preparing for it. Like they're not testing it publicly. I mean, people go in and kind of try to figure out the difference by looking at the code that's in those versions. So Apple is very careful with shipping anything secret. But they are probably preparing for that, like sending the seeds already out there with the things that they are okay with shipping already until they're ready to include that feature.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there's more to come. I mean, there were articles last year after they announced Apple Intelligence where they said 18.1, you'll get this, 18.2, you'll get this, 18.3, you'll get this, and 18.4 Apple Intelligence will be as fully realized as we can expect at this point. So, the last time we got notification, summaries, some writing stuff, and that's happening. But I don't see anything new with Apple Intelligence in the 18.3 beta, but the developer beta. But until it gets a public release, maybe some secret thing will crop up that is in that rollout plan that they talked about last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, like I said, nothing exciting, right, Jeff?
I agree. Where we are with the betas and the new features rolling out, I think the more exciting story is still Marty's Motel.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I think that's going to be a show title at this point.
Yeah. Sorry. Just what's happening right now with macOS and iOS, to me, it's not exciting. And that's actually a good thing, because I would much rather have Apple fixing crap than throwing more broken crap in on top of what's already there.
Yeah. They're too busy trying to fix the BBC's headlines.
Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Hold that thought. And then watchOS 11.3 is out, as well as tvOS 18.3 beta 2. Not much to talk about on that. One feature that was mentioned that was fixed, there was apparently a calculator issue that was introduced last fall. And beta 2 supposedly fixes it. Repeating operations are now possible again following the iOS 18 removal. When Apple released iOS 18 in September, the updates came with a big and small changes to a wide variety of system apps, and calculator was, I guess, one of them. it brought the calculator to the iPad for the first time, but it also took opportunities to make some changes to the app on the iPhone. One negative change in particular was the removal of the support of repeating operations. Previously, after making a calculation, you could hit the equal sign repeatedly to perform further calculations. Well, I guess you couldn't do that once this was released, but now Beta 2 is fixing that. I haven't tried it, but I'm guessing.
I never used that feature, so.
Yeah, no,
all right, so
really.
Here's the funny thing for me.
Yep.
I didn't realize it was a problem.
I didn't either, honestly.
But here's the thing: with Beta 2 installed, I was actually doing the repeating math stuff, and just coincidentally after I installed the update, whenever that was, a couple days ago, and it was working fine. So the problem persisted up until the point when I actually needed to use the feature, and it was fixed in the beta.
Yeah.
They knew it. They knew that you didn't need it, so they were like, "Oh, we can remove it. No, Jeff doesn't need it." And then they were like, "Oh crap, we have to put it in right before Jeff needs it into the beta, so that it ships before he has it."
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Which also means they can look into the future, but that's a different story. It's a different future.
So let's move on to a little bit of In Touch with Mac this week. Beta for 15.5 tall trees, as Jeff calls it, or Sequoia, is out for developers. And it's 3 weeks after the first beta. I guess you see that Image Playground came to Mac OS as well as Genmoji. That was already released. Not much to see there. All Macs with a Apple Silicon chip is supporting Genmoji and Apple Intelligence features, which is great. So, haven't seen much. Any difference? What you got, Patrice?
I would just wanted to say nothing to see here. Keep going.
Okay, yes. That's right.
See our comments on see our comments on iOS 18.3 beta.
Yes,
got it.
No news is good news.
So we're going to talk a little bit about CES, just kind of some of the things that caught my eye with what was announced this week. Unfortunately, I didn't get to attend, but I'm sure in future episodes we'll hear from Chuck Joyner to give us a little more insights on what he experienced. But one of the things that really caught my eye for Mac was that the new Satachi's new Mac Mini Hub solves that power button problem. Everybody complaining about the power button being on the bottom, and it bothers everybody, and they have a big problem with it.
Exactly, nobody.
Nobody does, but
it only bothers people who have YouTube videos to record and publish.
So
and people who are still annoyed that they can't open their ClarisWorks files on. Mac
okay. That
you can.
Yeah. So
easily.
They did announce previously that the new Mac Mini Hub, notably, the hub now has a cutout in the back left corner that makes it easy to press the computer's raised power button. The hub will cost around $100, and it's going to have limited availability at first, but I think it's going to sell like crazy. I'll be the first in line to get one of these. The hub adds a USB-A port to the Mac Mini, and Apple went all out on USB-C Thunderbolt ports on the latest models. So 2 of the USB-A ports offer up to 10 gig speeds, while the third is limited to 480. Then the hub will also have an SD card slot, which the Mini lacks, just like the Mac Studio. It's a front-facing slot, a UHS 2 slot that's capable of read writes up to 312 megabytes. And then you can put an NVMe drive in it, too.
That's cool.
It has an enclosure, which is pretty amazing, too, that adds an SSD up to 4 terabytes into the storage of the Mac. And it can be expanded. So expanding Mac's Mini storage, especially if you're one that bought just the base model. But this will pair nicely with my M4 Pro I have here. Pretty cool, made out of aluminum. Looks very close to what the Mac Mini looks like. And I think Satachi hit it out of the park here. I think this is going to be a hot selling item.
Yeah, you can always count on Satachi bringing out great products. I have all my power bricks are from them, and they're just amazing. So
yeah, agree. Anybody else want to add on this?
Yeah, this is very similar to what Satachi and others made for the previous generation Mac Mini. And like those, this, if you have one and actually use it on your desk, this is $100 well spent.
Oh yeah, I'll be the first in line to to pre-order once it's available. So
yeah, they said mid-February, and they and on their site, I went to look for it. I don't know, maybe a month ago. They said sign up for, you're looking for this, sign up for notices, and we'll tell you when it comes out. So
yeah,
I signed up for notices, and I'm getting anything but that from them. But I'm waiting for it to happen because it'll be nice to have that. Yeah.
Here's the problem I see with this.
Okay.
This product looks fantastic, and based on what Saatchi has done with their previous versions, this is going to be an excellent product. Okay, so where's the problem? The problem is with all the people writing headlines about, hey, Saatchi has this new hub that's going to fix the power button problem.
I know.
Holy forking shirt balls, people. Talk about the features that actually matter.
Yeah, exactly.
The power button thing first, it's a non-issue. And
it is.
And second, come on, talk about what matters.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm going to be the naysayer on this. The power button is an issue, but there's a real simple solution. And I bought one of these things that slips under the back part of your Mac Mini, and you push down the button on top, and it pushes the button up on the bottom. It works as a little lever to do that.
Yeah.
It slips nicely under there, and it solves the power button. And it didn't cost me $99. But
I could make you one of those with a popsicle stick and a Bic pen body.
I know you could, but you weren't there when I needed you.
I know. Story of my life, and I apologize.
Yeah, it's one of those issues that took people about 3.5 minutes to solve.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then this was kind of funny, honestly. I'll be me being working in enterprise and supporting Dell products. Dell decides to rename their entire laptop line. Hey, it's called a Dell Pro, and a Dell Max. I wonder where they got that from.
Yeah, maybe they should shut it down and give it back to the shareholders.
Yeah. So no more latitude. Yeah, well played. No more latitude, no more Optiplex, no more Inspiron, none of those crazy names they had over all these years. They're basically copying Apple, and it was kind of funny that actually Dell was mocked at their own press conference for copying Apple's naming conventions.
No, because they copied Apple's naming conventions and then made it worse, because it's not just Pro, Max, whatever. There's like, for each one of them, there's another 3 layers. It's like base, something, and something else. I don't remember it. Premium is one, I think. So it's like you have the Pro Max base versus the Pro base. It's like, yes, it's again really complicated.
Yeah, I mean, they did.
I want the Pro Max Premium Ultra 2.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
in black.
Problem is they didn't just copy something. They copied something that is so widely understood that absolutely no one didn't get the reference.
Yes.
Their other naming conventions made absolutely no sense to me anyways.
Yes.
At least this is like, they could have just done numbers, Dell 1, Dell 2, Dell 3, and 3 being the best. But they pretty much copied Apple's branding around products and just applied it to theirs. But frankly, XPS and Inspiron, what does that tell me about the level of computer that I'm getting?
Yeah. All it tells you is they couldn't copy Apple's naming conventions.
Yeah. I mean, it probably wasn't a bad idea to do it. It's just the way they did it. I mean, not as if Apple hasn't done stuff like that. Like, did we get the iPhone 10X, 10R, whatever, Pro Max Plus? Like, we've had
24 hike.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat at youtube.com/intouchwithios. We got Cletus in the chat. We have Webb Bixby. How you doing, Webb? Hope you're staying warm. I know Kansas City's gotten hit pretty bad with the cold and the snow. And then Cletus is also with us. Thanks for being here. And I can't forget Guy Searle for Shark.
Hey,
he's hanging out in the chat as well. So that's where you can chat and join us when we're streaming live here.
Guy and his 227 microphones.
Yes, exactly.
228 now.
Whoops,
So-
just went up to 229.
They have a online stock ticker that tells you how many microphones
Yeah,
he's purchasing at a time.
and the stock goes up every time.
Yes.
So there's a lot to cover on CES, and we'll cover more in the following next couple weeks here. But just a couple notable things I saw. One of the ones that was really interesting was from Anker. Anker has new USB-C portable battery and a wall charger with smart displays. The wall charger is really cool, and it's a 140 watt wall charger.
Yeah.
And it's got high power and having that display. I mean, the Anker is really knocking it out of the park with these displays to show you what the power is. It's really awesome. So the one notable thing with the portable charger, which is 25,000 milliamps, but it also has a retractable cord cable that they added as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Which I think it's
Two
two of them.
Wasn't
right?
there
There's
two cable on
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
The hand strap is also a cord too, which pulls out of the side, and then there's the other one. There's a long cable that pulls out from the top. So, and it says it's only $89, $89.99.
What?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's not as good as the other really big one that they have, the other 27,000 milliamp one that has a couple extra features, but for the price, it's really good.
I mean, I've already bought two of these. Their chargers. I got one of the old ones. Do I really need a third?
The
just
answer
do
is
you really
yes.
want us to answer that?
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
The
I'm
answer
very
is yes.
bad. I'm very bad at
Yes,
doing that. Yeah.
Dave. The answer to "Do you want a new Anchor product?" is the same
Yeah.
as if you're asked, "Are you a god?" You say yes.
Oh my gosh.
What is the size of this thing?
That's the thing. It is really heavy. I mean, that from people are saying and I watched some of the sites and they said that this thing has got some pretty good weight to it. So
It's 2.3 kilograms.
Yeah, it looks like the trickle charger for my car.
Yeah.
I probably
Yeah, well,
could
you could
serve as
probably
the trickle
charge your
charger. Exactly.
4.5 by 8 by 4.5.
Considering what it's capable of doing, the weight is
That's not
actually
bad.
pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I throw one in my backpack when I'm traveling to take it with me so I can use my Vision Pro. I've never actually needed it, but I have it.
I'm going to say this sarcastically. What would 2.3 kilograms be in American?
A little.
No,
over
it should
a
be
pound.
about 2.3 kilograms. A kilogram is about 2 point something pounds.
It's
So
less than a
about
super big gulp.
About 5 pounds probably.
less than the super big gulp. Okay.
Yeah, that would be an American way of analyzing weight. Super big
That's
gulps.
true. How many Big Macs is it, right?
Yeah. Belkin was very active with a lot of new chargers as well. They got the affordable $20 G2 boost charge with magnetic wiring charging pad. They also have the charging pad is able to charge an iPhone up to 15 watts. Comes with a pop-up kickstand. I've got the older one that it's sitting over there next to me here. But this is interesting to see. They also has a new boost charge compact USB-C charger at 45 and 65 watt options for $30 and $40 respectively. Super compact with foldable prongs makes it ideal for travel. That should be coming out in March. And then the final one was the Boost Charge Power Bank. It's 20,000 probably the milliamps there with integrated cable, which is priced at $50, and it's able to fast charge a connected device like an iPhone 16 at 30 watts. Built-in USB-C cables, additional USB-C port, and a USB-A port for multiple device charging. That'll be out. Comes in white, blue, and pink. There you go, Patrice, for pink. And that ships in Apple 2025. April, excuse me. And then, so Belkin's come out with a lot of cool things. So a lot of chargers out there, a lot of cases out there. And like I said, we'll cover more of this stuff when as time progresses and we got to dig into this. The show has this is just wrapping up the show. At least tomorrow it wraps up. It's been a long week of...
Can I raise an unpopular maybe an unpopular question? Do we really need all these power banks now, considering the battery? No. Yeah, and for power use, I mean, for folks who have older phones where they're draining their battery all the time, I can imagine these are valuable, but I'm not finding myself in need of these. I'm swapping my phone out every year, every 2 years.
Right.
And and rarely am I walking around during the day where my battery goes to zero in terms of the use that I'm using. So these things look tempting, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. I wind up never plugging anything into them anyways.
The question is more, do we really need new ones every year? Like, I mean, I understand the need to have them. It's just, why do we have to have new ones every year?
No, we don't, but we like to.
Yeah. For me, the more important question is, who would buy the robot vacuum with the arm? Like, I wouldn't, because that that would destroy my floor closet.
Yeah, because it picks up all your socks.
Exactly. That's not going to happen.
Patrice, when you were saying, do we need them every year, were you talking about chargers or were you talking about phones?
iPhones.
Or both?
Both. I mean, I buy both.
Yes. For the answer of who would buy that, Patrice, I'm a single guy. Of course I'd buy it.
Yeah. A couple other topics here. I guess Apple One, the Apple One plan got 3 recent additions I missed. I want to know what this was new here. Mm-hmm. I didn't know either. Apple One was released in 2019. We've been talking about it for years. God, it's been 5 years already. Jeez, 6 years. In Apple's various services, I think it's well worth the cost. I have the full plan. I have all the items there that's available with the plan. What you can do is, with a couple new things here. The first thing is advanced access to Apple TV Plus original podcasts. I got the majority of the readers that probably have Apple, no idea what Apple produces in original podcasts, but Apple TV Plus subscribers are going to have access to them. They have experimented with podcast production in the past, but I guess there's some companion shows for the TV Plus series. That's going to be in the second half. It's going to be branching out to that, so it's kind of cool. And Apple's released they actually have nothing to do with the TV service. It is confusing, but examples are Scam Town, which is a true crime series, My Devo, which is a dual language podcast, and many more. And then they're now adding Sudoku puzzles in the Apple News app, and they debuted that. And that's going to be one other thing that they've added. And then a lot of Fitness Plus upgrades. That was a lot of big announcements. There's
as is tradition.
Yeah, it's the first of the year, and so it's got 3 perfect weeks of strength, the yoga peak poses, introduction to breathe medication, and then strength, endurance, and strength, endurance, and agility for pickleball. Because we know how hot pickleball is right now.
Here's my thing with that, and this is a market that Apple does not tap into with Fitness Plus. And it might be me just being a cranky old man, but I don't need another high intensity interval training workout. I'm, the age that I'm at, my lack of mobility, all of that. I wish they would gear some of these more towards older aged people who are just, I couldn't find them.
They have some. No, they have some, especially, I think, was it September last year? They did introduce a bunch of kind of introductory things you can do.
Yeah, I did some of those. But I mean, I think this is really geared much towards, and again, it's the market. It's much towards a younger age group.
The Peloton crowd.
Yeah, I can't get too much excited about fitness, and the breathing meditation. There are apps that do that a lot better. In terms of services that do that a lot better than, Apple's going to give me 6 new ways to do meditation or breathing meditation. There are programs that do a lot of that.
Yes, and this is an introduction thing. So this is, for the people who are not not subscribed to those apps, are not using those apps, are not even maybe aware of that, this is an introduction to it. Like box breathing especially is really helpful sometimes. Like not just for meditation, but also when you're in stressful situations and whatever. Box breathing actually helps you calm down. So this introduction, I mean, it's kind of the starting point. I think the whole Fitness Plus, to be honest, is kind of a starting point. And then, I mean, if you really want to go deeper, there is other options out there, as you said.
Yeah. So
I'm excited about this.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely it's going to be good that they expanded upon Fitness Plus. They need to get some activity with that. So, so let's talk a little bit more news for this week. Apple is stepping up to expand the News app to more countries. Apple's scaling up its News app to add to more new countries beyond the U.S. and Canada and the U.K. and Australia. They're looking to expand to many other countries, and it's, as we know, that's the News Plus app that's included in the Apple One bundle, or you can get it to standalone as a $12.99 a month in the U.S. or $12.99 in the UK, and it doesn't say which countries it's going to do as of yet, but it looks like they are going to try to expand it through this year, I should say. So
the ones they can make most money in. Very simple.
Oh yeah, well,
there you go.
Apple is not doing that out of the goodness of their hearts. They're doing that to sell your Apple One subscription.
So we talked about this was mentioned earlier by Ben here. The Apple Intelligence update will add clarification to prevent fake headline confusion. Apple is working on an update for the Apple Intelligence that will cut down on the confusion caused by inaccurate summaries of news headlines. Apple told the BBC News in a statement that the software coming soon will clarify when notifications have been summarized by Apple Intelligence, so you can take it with a grain of salt. Apple Intelligence features are in beta, and we're continuously making improvements with the help of user feedback. And a software update will be coming in weeks to further clarify when the text is being displayed, and that is summarization provided by Apple Intelligence. So we can go on and on here, but yeah, this was kind of silly, don't you think, Patrice?
This is this year's gate.
Yeah,
this is as much a gate as all the previous gates have been, which is zero. I don't know if anybody was. I mean, other than yes, it looks really, really bad when it summarizes things that are completely untrue, and I've seen that myself. Like I've had summaries where I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, but I was at no point confused, and I was at no point under the. Like, at no point did I think, oh, this is true. Like, I knew it was a summary. I knew it could be wrong. So I don't know what this is going to do, but if it quiets the people who want to complain about everything, it's fine.
If you want factual information, you can go to Meta and get it.
That's good.
I mean,
well played.
Honestly, these hallucinate a lot. This is very much still a beta. Apple should do a little bit more, especially in its advertisement, to let you know that Apple Intelligence is very much in the early phase. But this is something, as the LLMs get better, the quality of the product will get better.
Yeah. Any thoughts on this, Jeff?
Yep.
I knew it.
Okay, so the general public is looking at what Apple and all these other companies are doing with their AI first pushes and summarizing and getting facts and everything that of course is just failing because it's really crappy. And the problem here is that all of these products that are being pushed as this is a really great new feature for you, and we're about to hit AGI with all of our products. No, this stuff is rough alpha level at best. And it's being pushed on everyone as if this is a finished, polished product that you can trust and rely on. And none of this stuff is that, not even remotely that. And you need to be someone like Marty who knows how to use a tool like this and understands where it can fail and where it can be useful. you shouldn't be the average person who's just trusting that this is magic perfect information all the time, because most of the time it's not.
Yep. All right. And let's move on about, we knew about this lawsuit that was settled for $95 million, and most of us will get probably about $20. Apple says Siri data has never been sold and used for marketing. All right. No Siri data has ever been used for marketing purposes or sold to a third-party company for any reason, Apple said in this, today in a response to accusations that conversations Siri has captured has been used for advertising. Of course, like I said, the lawsuit that Apple agreed to settle with no wrongdoing alleges that Apple provided information obtained from accidental Siri recordings to third-party companies for the purpose of marketing. Plaintiffs in the lawsuit claimed that they were shown ads for Air Jordan shoes and Olive Garden after Siri recorded them speaking privately about those companies. So Apple got caught. Let's face it. I mean, it's.
I don't think they did.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
No, they just settled.
They settled. They settled. It was cheaper. Okay, so here's the deal. People have been thinking that their devices have been listening to them for years. And everyone is sure that Facebook and Amazon are listening to everything they're saying, because after they're talking about something, they start seeing ads for the thing that they're interested in. No, it's much more insidious than, are these devices listening to us? They're not. What's happening is these companies have developed systems for monitoring your activity, and they've built algorithms that are so good at predicting what you are interested in that they can feed you things that you're highly likely to be interested in. And because they will show you things that you're likely to be interested in, there's a higher likelihood that you will have a conversation with someone about something. And then it'll be like when you buy a new red car and you notice everyone else has a red car. Now you start seeing those ads and noticing those ads. They were there all along.
The Bader-Meinhof effect, yes. No, and it's sometimes even the other way around. People don't remember it, but they've seen an ad for the thing that they then talked about to their friends about, and then they see the ad after and like, hey, they were listening to me. They just didn't realize it first time.
They don't keep the ads in their head of stuff that they're not interested in. So they've seen tons of ads that have come up on topics or products that they're not interested in, but they recognize and remember the ones that come up that are related to stuff they're interested in. So they think
that's how marketing works.
They're spying on us.
Yeah, there's been, I think, Radiolab or some other NPR podcast did like a whole episode about this where they debunked it and even proved it and showed it and like backed the science and all of that.
The ironic thing is they think the computer's listening more to them than we're, as humans, actually listening to them.
Yeah. Yes.
So, this is BS. But I do not mind these Apple settlement checks just randomly showing up in my bank account at all.
Yeah. Agree. I think it's going to go back like...
It's a stock dividend that everybody gets.
5-6 years.
That's true.
And did I interpret what I read earlier incorrectly, or is this article incorrect where it says you'd be eligible for up to $20? Isn't it $20 for up to 5 devices? So you're eligible for up to $100.
$100, right? If you own 5 different devices over those 5 years.
Which means that if I get a check, it'll be $100. For all of us, it'll be $100.
Yeah.
Or
maybe
conversely, it's going to be a HomePod Mini. Way to think of it.
Oh, that would be funny.
Or we need to think of it in the big gulp economy, probably.
Yeah, right.
How many big gulps can you get?
Sending everyone a HomePod Mini, that would be just deliciously funny.
Next story.
Apple's going to do that.
Okay. So let's move on. Apple using Shazam to predict 50 breakthrough music artists for this year in 2025. Apple launched a new Shazam Fast Forward 2025 website that will spotlight 50 music artists that are poised to be having a breakthrough year. The list of artists will be revealed on a genre-by-genre basis over the next 5 days this week as we record. And starting with dance electric artists today, rising artists in Latin, country and rock, pop, hip-hop, R&B genres also follow later this week. With more than 300 million global monthly users on Shazam and 100 billion global song recognitions since its launch, Shazam's unique ability to accurately predict the next breaking artist is unparalleled, Apple says in a statement or an email. Apple selected base Shazam's unique predictive data and algorithms coupled with the expertise of Apple Music's global editorial team. So they're just utilizing the Shazam even more, right, Patrice?
The question is this a self-fulfilling prophecy? Because by highlighting those artists, aren't they going to break through? Yeah. Isn't that like how this works? Like Apple is saying, hey, you should look at these artists. They're going to break through. So now they're breaking through because people are looking at them.
Shouldn't we have just come up with a crappy song and as a group and just played it over and over again into Shazam and force the algorithm to highlight us as a
actually Spotify allegedly is doing that. They're paying kind of underground companies to create like songs, and then they release them under like a million different names and basically collect a lot of fees through that.
But we should have gone to like Creative Commons or Free Music Archive and just kept playing that song over and over again and give some person, some extra play.
Yep. Do you have thoughts?
I could soapbox on this all day long, but instead I'll just say, man, how about that motel Marty stayed at?
I've got the link. I'll put it in the chat afterwards so you can see it.
Sweet.
I haven't done it because I didn't want to distract from the show.
All right, we'll move on. This was announced this week. Disney is merging Hulu Live TV service with Fubo. The new sports bundle is now imminent. Disney and Fubo have announced that they are going to be merging their Hulu plus Live TV and Fubo services into a single business. Here's what this means. It means Venue Sports, which was going to be a package with Disney, Fox, and Warner Brothers Discovery. That was going to be their sports piece. Now with this merger with Fubo, because Fubo was fighting that bundle that they were going to create, and Venue Sports would have cost $42.99 a month, and that's pretty steep as it is for all those channels. But it looks like it's going to be a lot for the Venue, Disney Plus, and Hulu and Fubo and more. So it's a handful of things will happen. The legislation that was brought by Fubo will be officially settled. The Venue Sports will now be able to finally launch at any time. Hulu Plus and Live TV will be joined with Fubo as a new standalone business. And finally, Fubo will be creating its own sports service featuring Disney-owned properties like ABC and ESPN. So the landscape of streaming just continues to change. And Ben, I'll give your insights with this and sports and why this is how is this going to be.
Look, the reason Fubo was fighting Venue Sports so tightly is because they know that essentially the digital cable alternatives were a bridge service to get us from where we were to DTC everywhere. Venue Sports is basically the end game of direct consumer everywhere, because you have all the sports packages in one place, which would essentially mean, considering how many cable TV networks are now shutting down, Fubo is going to be shutting down sooner rather than later. This gives them a little bit. This essentially gives them a golden parachute. They get some extra. They get some extra users from the mouse. They get out of the mouse's way, and everybody's shareholders aren't, well, not what I say happy, but
it works for everybody involved.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Anybody else have any thoughts on this?
What does this do to my bundle?
You have Hulu Live TV?
Yeah.
And that's to be determined, I would think.
Yeah.
I have a guess. It's going to increase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, especially since Hulu with Live TV and Fubo do have different channels. Like Hulu has to deal with the Warner Brothers Discovery Channel, such as TBS and TNT, why Fubo does not. So it's probably going to make everything go up. Surprise, surprise.
Yes, mostly because of sports.
Yeah.
So the combined service is going to be called FUBAR, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right. Any other comments on this before we wrap up? All right, that's the show for this week. What a great show. We had a lot of fun talking about all kinds of crazy fun stuff with Apple and other topics. I'm so glad everybody was here this week, and let's go ahead and wrap up. This is a wrap. That's a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, and suggestions to our email address, which is feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Mastodon or Blue Sky at intouchwithios. Support the show by buying me a coffee at intouchwithios.com/coffee. We'd really appreciate it. You can become a patron of the show by going to patreon.com/intouchwithios. 2 tiers available to support the show. We could really appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you're notified when we're live streaming, which is Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/intouchwithios. Thanks again to Webb and to Cletus and Guy and everybody else that joined us. You can go there and watch the current and past live streams as well as listen to past shows. Visit In Touch with iOS magazine on Flipboard, on many of the topics we discuss are flipped in that magazine. The link is in the show notes, and you can subscribe to the show in your favorite podcatcher, including Pocket Casts, Overcast, Apple Podcasts, many others. Better yet, just go to our website, intouchwithios.com, where all the links to all the ways are on that website. I am Dave Ginsburg. You can find me on Blue Sky and Mastodon at DaveG65. Patrice Brend-Amour, thank you so much again for being here. It was a pleasure these last 3 weeks for you to be here. Where can people find you?
Thank you for having me. It's been a great time. I'm very happy that you did shows over the Christmas break, because then I was able to join. You can find me with Jeff and Dave and Ben actually on the British Tech Network, Mac Show and Big Show. I just recorded the very first Big Show of the year, and we also did our predictions. So there were actually some overlap with what we predicted today. We will see. I'm all the social media links, the podcast, the projects, everything I'm doing on my website, thepatrice.com, redirects to my last name. Nobody can spell that. And I have a really cool show with a certain Jeff Gamet called Retro Rewatch. We both have mugs now, and we rewatch retro TV shows. We're in Stargate SG-1. We just wrapped up season 1, and we're about to head into season 2 whenever I get to editing. So go watch that or listen to it.
Yes, definitely. Marty Jencius, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Where can people find you?
Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Vision Profiles. You can pick that podcast up outside of that time zone on any of your pod servers. Also, Old Mac Gang on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. through YouTube, and also servers. You can find that. So those are the 2 ones that I'm really working. Enjoy Tuesday nights with Chuck Joyner on Mac Voices Live, and then Thursdays here with Dave. I appreciate that. You can find me at Jencius, JENCIUS at bluesky.social, or simply find all the podcasts I'm doing at thepodtalk.net.
Absolutely. Thanks, Marty. Ben Roethig, thank you for being here. It's a great pleasure as always. Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me at Ben Roethig on your social media of choice. You can find my ratings and ravings at roethigtech.com. You can also find me on such wonderful podcasts as Mac Voices Live with Chuck Joyner, who's currently at CES.
Yes.
the British Tech Network, where I currently reign as king of the Mac show. Subject.
Yeah.
And most days here on In Touch with iOS with Dave Ginsburg.
Thanks so much, Ben. And Jeff Gamet, as always, a pleasure having you on the show. Where can people find you?
Well, thank you for letting me join in, because I really enjoy getting to hang out with you and everyone else. For shows, no, how about socials? J Gamet everywhere. I'm active on Mastodon and Instagram, although I'm trying to find a replacement for that now. And I'm going to try to get more active on Blue Sky. Then for shows, Chuck Joyner's Mac Voices Live, here with you on In Touch with iOS, on the British Tech Network, as Ben just mentioned, The Big Show and The Mac Show. Let's see, Brad Chaffin and I do The Context Machine, and Patrice pointed out Retro Rewatch, which is so much fun. And I have to say that when I drink my tea out of my Retro Rewatch mug, it tastes better.
Oh, thanks so much. And thank you for listening and watching and being a part of the show. We really enjoy doing it, and we're going to be back next week. But until next time, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon.